Hello my brothers, today we are talking about honest signals.
Excuse me. Girl with the fancy black watch.
Fancy.
Who's sitting, taking in the sunset. No, you look super adorable.
So I really like the way he is approaching her. It's both direct and extremely relaxed, which is the ideal scenario. You show the girl that you're super confident with the fact you're approaching her, with the fact that you like her, but at the same time you're relaxed enough to have fun with it. Of course, the situation has to be good for that. If the girl was doing something else, maybe he would not have any idea of how to start the conversation. But when you can start the conversation like that and just have fun with the fact that you're being direct, that's very good. Also, he immediately sits next to her. That's not always the move. There it's the move because as soon as he said hi, the girl started to laugh. The girl was very open with the idea of talking with him. If the girl was more difficult, or let's say a little bit more closed, he would need to spend more time talking with her before sitting down. At least he would need to talk with her until he reaches the social hook point. But there he reached that social hook point immediately, so there was no need to stand up for more and he could immediately sit down with her.
As I was strolling by, so I had to come over. Jesus. Wow, that's adding to the ambiance.
Yeah.
And and hit on you, I guess. We're in a movie.
Your daygame.
We're in a movie. I'm from Toronto, actually.
So there the pressure was a little bit too much for the girl, and even though she liked it, if you go only direct, 100% direct, and all that you do when you start the conversation is to tell the girl that you like her and that you want to talk with her because you like her, she's gonna feel too much pressure. For some girls, it's gonna be okay. Some girls are gonna love the avalanche of male attention. For this girl, and for most girls in general, it was a little bit too much. So he noticed that when the girl asked him, how is your day going? It was a strong signal that it was too much pressure for her. It was a strong signal for him to recalibrate towards something a little bit more tame, at least for now. There is a thing such as too much direct. Even though I always say that you should go as direct as you can, you should go as direct as you can, as slowly as she's comfortable with it. As soon as you notice signs that she's not too comfortable because it's too direct for her, just dial it down a little bit, be more neutral and a little bit more platonic until she gets more comfortable, and then escalate again.
Canadian fellow.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. From where?
Manitoba.
Manitoba. Haven't been, but
Yeah, there's nothing there.
hear good things.
Oh yeah.
When was your birthday?
Uh,
Just passed. Happy belated. Hey, Picasso said it takes a long time to grow young, so you're 1 year younger.
Exactly. That's what's happening.
1 year, 1 year closer to your core.
What he does there is very good, and personally I love to do that. He's not apologetic in any way about the fact he's trying to get to know her, but at the same time he's not trying very hard. In simple terms, he leaves very long pauses between his sentences to kind of judge how invested and interested and compliant she is, because some girls are not very comfortable with the fact that a stranger is going to approach them. Some girls might even look like they are happy and interested to talk with you, while actually they're just too polite to tell you to fuck off. And there he's pinging to see her reactions by leaving longer pauses between his sentences. That's very good because you can see that the girl chooses to continue the conversation. When he leaves a blank in the conversation to give her some breathing room, to give her the opportunity to decide whether or not she wants to continue the conversation, she actually decides to continue the conversation by asking him questions. That's a very good way to talk with girls and to further the interaction without putting too much pressure on them. You always want to give them the opportunity to not continue the interaction, and the good way to do that is to leave longer pauses between the things you say. Basically, chill out a little bit and give her a little bit of space to invest in the conversation.
Work.
Fun.
Yeah, got a client here.
Client.
Yeah, I travel every now and again for work. It's nice to escape the doom and gloom in Toronto.
Yes. The cold.
It's not, it's not even the cold. It's the gloom.
Really?
Like
It's really gloomy?
Oh man, like sometimes it's like weeks on end of just like gloom and rain. I remember first time I was in LA, we did this like a, fuck, not a walking tour. They don't have those in LA. Like one of those tours, you know, guided tours. And the tour guide's like, catching LA in bad weather is like catching a famous actress without her makeup.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. There's something you need to know about me. I'm not really into plants, but I love cacti. I've got one of those miniature cacti on my bookshelf. Most plants, they're all unattractive and like cacti are so zen. I was recently watching that, you ever see that movie with Michael Douglas?
So you can see there that he's cutting off the video, he's making some jump cuts to go forward faster. I really don't get the feeling it's because he wants to hide awkward moments, but just it's kind of boring to watch. And sometimes people tell me, oh Max, you should not cut your infields in the middle because conversations is what we want to see. Dude, no, you don't want to see conversations. A guy talking to a girl, telling him funny stories is going to be super boring to everyone because the point is not to be interesting to watch. The point is not to interest girls in your conversations. The point is just to spend more time with them, to make them more comfortable with you, with your personality, with your presence, with your teases, with your touch. It's not supposed to be entertaining. It's supposed to create more comfort. Like we saw at the beginning of the interaction, this girl is not super open to be approached in a very direct way. Maybe it's a girl who's a little bit more shy. She's definitely happy to talk with him. Is she super attracted? It's hard to tell. She might just be shy. Personally, I hate girls like that because I don't want to waste my time in a long conversation that I'm not sure might go somewhere. But what he's doing there is the play. If the girl is not showing obvious and huge signs of interest, but she's still there, she seems to enjoy talking with you, just take your time, talk with her more. It might be your style, it might not be your style, it's not that much of my style. But at the end of the day, if you can show her that you're comfortable with yourself, that you're comfortable with having a long conversation with a stranger without trying too hard, without freaking out, without making crazy mistakes that will make her uncomfortable, this is the way to go. And he's doing this very well.
When he's having like this really bad day and he just kind of like loses his shit, like shoots up a bunch of people.
Real game is not about flash. Yes, there does need to be a flirtatious element sprinkled into the dynamic to build attraction.
It's funny because there he cuts the video to do some voiceover and he explains basically the thing I just said. So it's pretty nice. Fast forward, there is more banter, more small talk. It's not the most interesting there, but what happens after is interesting.
I think there's a Mexican food truck over there. You want to walk there? I want to grab a coconut water. Adventure? Just don't do anything crazy. You look like you're South American or a little Mediterranean flavor. You don't look like a white girl from Winnipeg.
White girl from Winnipeg.
Just,
That's exactly
just
what
parents are both white?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have guessed Brazilian if I didn't know.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, well, Brazil's quite diverse.
Slow, but still he's leading somewhere. And that's what you want to do when you see the girl is not immediately super into you. You baby step your way to the close. You baby step your way to the pool. Basically, you take it one step at a time. First, you approach her, then you make her comfortable with you. Then you lead her to another place where you can make her even more comfortable with you. And step by step like that, eventually you lead her to a place where you can have sex. Or if you can't have sex with her on that day, you ask for her contact and you meet her again. Long story short, they kept the banter going, they went to grab some food, they kept talking, and eventually in front of the lake or the sea or wherever that is, he does this very interesting thing.
Let me grab your number first before I forget. What's your number?
1204.
I'll shoot you a text today when tonight when I'm wrapping up. I'll probably be in West Hollywood and Hollywood. Ciao.
That's gonna be the end of it. So overall, a very, very strong interaction. You can compare this to the other interaction you had in my previous video with Austin Summers. In that previous video, it was just a guy talking with a girl in front of her on the street for 20 minutes. In this specific video with Honest Signalz, it's a guy creating a story with a girl that he meets. If the girl thinks about the fact she met him when she gets home, she's gonna think, oh, okay, I met this guy, he approached me, he made me feel good, he was kind of interesting, he was kind of attractive, we had some talk, it was nice, then we went to eat some food, it was nice as well, then we went to another place, it was nice as well, I overall spent a good time with this guy, then he took my number, I might see him again. Actually, I'm excited a little bit about seeing him again because all I felt when I met him for the first time was very good. Ideally, that's the vibe you want to have when you meet a girl in public for the first time. There in particular, it was specifically easy to do it because it was a girl in a park, she was alone, she had nothing to do, no specific place to go, so that's okay. That's easier to spend more time with her, to make her more comfortable, to get her to know a little bit about you, to know a little bit about her. Ideally, that's what you want to do. Most of the time, girls you meet in public, girls you meet on the street, they will either be in a group, they will be going somewhere, or they will have things to do. Most of the time you will have not more than 5 minutes to talk with girls. It's very, very rare that you will be able to spend 20 minutes talking with a girl on the street, and again, you don't even have to do that. It's not even the best play in such situations. But anyways, very solid interaction. I honestly really like all that he did. That's very, very good. He made her comfortable, he had a proper structure, he went through all the steps, he calibrated properly to the reactions of the girl, and at the end he made the right move. So he's very likely to see this girl again. You can never be sure 100%, but the best way to increase his odds with this particular girl in this particular situation was to play it the way he did. Alright, tell me what you thought about this video in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys next time.